The hospital mixed up my and my rival's secondary gender test results. Oblivious, I smugly taunted him. Hey there, sweet little Omega. Why don't you call me Big Bro? Then my own differentiation hit mid-sentence, collapsing me into Ethan's arms. His overpowering alpha pheromones pinned me down as I choked back terrified tears. Ethan, I'd rather die than let you mark me. His gaze turned predatory, voice deceptively gentle. One bite. Just one. And the pain stops. Celebrating my impending alpha status, I threw a rager at Neon Pulse. Drinks on J tonight. The club erupted as bodies pressed against glowing tables. I lounged across the VIP section, whiskey tumbler in hand, half listening to Ryan's warning. My alpha best friend twisted away from his dance partner, sweat gleaming under strobing lights. You're playing with fire. What if Ice Prince Ethan crashes this? I drained my glass, the burn down my throat matching my bravado. Since when do alphas fear omegas? Ethan, my eternal nemesis. Our family's Hampton Estates mansions shared a hedge maze, but we'd never been playmates. While I partied through prep school, he'd been the hall monitor, writing me up for unbuttoned uniforms. Now at Columbia, still policing my cigarettes and whiskey sours. But karma's a bitch. This week's differentiation forecast finally delivered justice. Alpha for me. Omega for perfect Ethan. Hence tonight's $10,000 bar tab. A bunny-eared Omega slithered onto the leather couch beside me. Strawberry-scented pheromones cloying. Let me comfort you. My scent's sweeter than any Omegas. The syrupy sweetness clawed at my throat. My legs trembled, but I forced an arm around his waist. Adorable. Way better than Ethan's icy. Ryan's palm smothered my mouth. Check your 6. Dumbass. There. Haloed in the emergency exit's glow, stood Ethan. His Burberry trench coat remained unwrinkled despite the writhing crowd. Our eyes locked across the chaos, his darkening gaze tracking the Omega's hand on my thigh. Unhand me. I'm not done. I thrashed against the Maybach's buttersoft leather seats as Ethan buckled me in. The ice-cold taskmaster ignored my protests, adjusting the climate control. You're attending tomorrow's finance seminar. No exceptions. Seminar. My penthouse was 3 blocks from campus. But no, our parents insisted we share Ethan's Upper West Side brownstone. So Ethan can keep you civilized. Father's parting words haunted. He crawled up my neck, sweat soaking my Saint Laurent shirt. I kicked the glove compartment. Why the hell do you care? You my damn boyfriend. Ethan paused mid-motion, cufflinks glinting. His knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. If I were... His voice dropped dangerously. You'd already be in my bed, screaming my name instead of that club rat's. The engine roared to life. Through my fever haze, his bergamot scent cut through the Omega's cloying residue. My teeth chattered. Fuck you. Language. Jaden. His thumb brushed my burning cheek. Though I'll have you cursing properly soon enough. He didn't let go, trapping me in the cage of his arms until our breaths mingled. His scent enveloped me, crisp pine needles and winter frost. Since when did my rival smell this intoxicating? Do all Omegas carry this allure? I pressed myself against the car seat, fighting the primal urge to lunge forward. Looking for a fight? My voice cracked. Jaden. Ethan's grip tightened on my jaw, forcing me to meet his stormy gaze. You reek of strangers. His thumb brushed my lower lip, the heat of his palm searing through my skin. If you were mine, he growled, each word glacial. You wouldn't leave our bed tomorrow. Our bed? My pulse roared. Ethan, need I remind you? I laughed bitterly. You're the Omega here. If anyone's getting pinned to the sheets. I seized his nape, yanking him close. His pupils dilated, predator caught off guard. Satisfaction curled through me as dimples dented my cheeks. Since when do Omegas smell like alpine forests? Ethan, Finished your presentation. My tongue flicked over sharp canines. Be a good boy. Call me Big Brother. Silence. Regret curdled my bravado. Forget it. Who wants some hulking Omega playing? Bones ground together as he crushed my wrist. Jaden. His voice dropped octaves. When did my scent hit you? Just now. Let go. My limbs turned leaden. Synapses drowning in honeyed fog. Alpha Omega propriety. Enough. Ethan's roar rattled the car. Your first heat's crashing down. Heat. Omega's curse. Before I could protest, my phone blared, Central Hospital's emergency alert flooding the cabin. Mr. Wilson? The nurse stammered through speakers. Our intern mixed up your differentiation reports. Mr. Foster presented as alpha last year. Our projections indicate your cardamom sweetness exploded through the vehicle. Ethan slammed the accelerator. Navigation screaming directions to the nearest isolation chamber. He carried my trembling form through steel doors, my scent glands leaking spice syrup. While securing the lockdown, Ethan kept the phone pinned between shoulder and ear, arms banded around my shuddering frame. Friend in Alpha Secondary Gender, currently assisting. Yes, full containment protocol. My skull throbbed. Tears burned. Through the haze, Ethan's cedar and ice essence cut sharper than any blade. Stay with me, Jay. His lips brushed my fevered temple. I've got you. Is this what an Omega's heat cycle feels like? The scorching fever. The suffocating dampness. The complete loss of control. My entire body felt like a battered ding being tossed mercilessly by raging tides. The hospital must have said something serious, because Ethan wore an unusually grave expression after hanging up. His calloused fingers brushed a side sweat-drenched strand of hair clinging to my forehead. Jaden, I'm sorry. It's too late for suppressants now. If we don't act immediately, you'll suffer permanent damage. That rough palm slid from my hair, across my burning cheek, to cradle the back of my neck, which means I have to give you a temporary mark. His alpha pheromones thickened the air until I felt lost in an endless pine forest dark, disorienting, sinking deeper with every breath. Swollen glands at my nape pulsed under his circling fingertips. For the first time, I truly comprehended that the boy I'd grown up with wasn't just any alpha, but a prime specimen. Ethan, stay back. My voice cracked as I scrambled away, sheets tangling around trembling limbs. I'd rather die than let you mark me. Shoo. Jaden, don't be afraid. His eyes glowed with predatory intensity I'd never witnessed before, voice rasping like gravel. Just one little bite. I promise the pain will stop. I woke to antiseptic sting in my nostrils and throbbing agony at my neck. Memories flooded back, desperate pleas ignored. Ironclad grip pinning me down. Searing invasion as fangs tore into tender flesh. Spotting the perpetrator slumped in a chair nearby. I lunged. Ethan, you bastard. How dare you mark me? The door creaked open, revealing a lab-coated doctor holding charts. His amused gaze bounced between us. Your boyfriend nearly cried, carrying you in last night. Meanwhile, you two are already back to playful bantering? He's not my... Ethan's hand squeezed mine in Warninga's. He intercepted the medical report. Doctor, he's been unconscious for 24 hours. Are there any complications? Perfectly healthy Omega. The physician chirped. Fever, lethargy, and anxiety are normal after first marking. But since he's newly presented, expect frequent heat spikes. Keep suppressants handy and maintain close physical contact with his alpha. Physical contact? I choked. Affectionate gestures helped stabilize Omega, kissing, hugging, being carried around. The doctor's smirk turned sly. With proper precautions, deeper intimacy could. Absolutely not. My face burned crimson. Being forcibly marked was humiliation enough. Any closeness with Ethan would make me legally disown the Wilson name. I turned to find Ethan solemnly typing notes into his phone like some devoted student. When the physician finally left, cool fingers pressed against my forehead. Any lingering discomfort? I've cleared your schedule. You're resting at home all week. Under the weight of his intense gaze, I swallowed my complaints. His overly cautious demeanor deflated me. Since childhood, everyone, myself included, had been certain I'd present as an alpha. Yet here I was, an omega, needing space. I growled my warning. Ethan, if you dare tell anyone I presented as an omega, you're dead. Understood. His eyes softened like sunlit ocean waves as he ruffled my hair. But Jay, alpha or omega, it doesn't define you. You'll always be Jaden, the one and only. 3 days of moping left me drowsy during morning lectures. While the professor energetically scribbled equations, I slumped over my phone. Ryan elbowed me, frowning at the band-aid on my neck. What's that? Mosquito bite. I lied. Must have been radioactive. He snorted. Kept you bedridden for days. My glare burned into Ethan's upright posture 3 rows ahead. His pen flew across notes with irritating precision. Shoff. President Foster's profile is perfection. Whispered a starry-eyed freshman nearby. Think he's an alpha? Her friend murmured. I mentally scoffed. Damn right he's an alpha. The snow pine scent of his pheromones alone could melt glaciers. Wonder what his marking technique's like. Heat flooded my cheeks as memories resurfaced, his cool fingertips tracing my gland. That rich baritone murmuring reassurance as his essence flooded my veins. My knees weakened recalling the dizzying rush of Jaden. Ryan sniffed suspiciously. You smell like spice cardamom. Omega pheromones? Before I could react, Ethan's blazer engulfed me, carrying his crisp alpine scent. Professor, Jaden requires medical attention, he announced, steering me out as giggles erupted behind us. Total ship material. Someone squealed as we passed. Ethan's grip tightened, his thumb unconsciously stroking my wrist. The classroom door hadn't fully closed before I hissed. This bandage isn't fooling anyone, is it? His lips brushed my ear. Never could. Darling, your cinnamon pheromones? Irresistible. Did you forget to take your suppressant again? Ethan dragged me into the infirmary, yanking the curtain around one of the examination beds. His brow furrowed as he thrust a water bottle at me, watching until I swallowed the pill. The hormone regulators were prescribed to manage presentation phase pheromone fluctuations. What's it to you if I did? I snapped, though I knew this was my fault. Arguing with my lifelong rival always brought out my stubborn streak. Jay, you're an omega now. Ethan adjusted his frameless glasses, the classroom accessory making his sharp features look even more severe. His fingers gripped my jaw with uncharacteristic roughness, irritation flashing behind those cold lenses. Do you have any idea how many opportunistic alphas your pheromones could attract? What if something happened when I'm not around to protect you? His condescending tone lit my fuse. Ethan, stop acting like you're God's gift to humanity. I slapped his hand away, heat rising to my cheeks. If you cared so much, why did you ghost me when your family moved to Switzerland? No warning, no contact. I didn't even know you presented as an alpha until months later. The words hung between us in the cramped space. I turned away, blinking hard, already regretting the outburst. The weight of Ethan's forehead suddenly pressed against my shoulder, his breath hitching against my collarbone. Jay, I'm sorry. The raw tremor in his voice made my chest constrict. We hadn't always been like this. Growing up, I'd been the scrappy kid defending the scrawny boy who trailed after me. Everything changed during sophomore year when Ethan shot up 6 inches and developed abs that made the swim team jealous. His protectiveness escalated from packing my lunches to interrogating everyone I hung out with. I didn't mind at first. Having someone handle life's logistics was convenient. But when he started vetoing my friendships and monitoring my interactions with female classmates, we fought constantly. I always caved when he looked at me with those wounded puppy eyes. After all, I was his only friend. The final straw came summer before junior year. I confessed to a girl I liked, only to hear her say, "I'm sorry, Jay, but I have feelings for Ethan." No big deal until I went to Ethan's house later. He looked wrecked, pupils dilated and breathing ragged. Before I could speak, he pinned me against the foyer wall. "Are you dating her?" His grip on my wrist turned bruising, voice scraping like gravel. When I tried pulling free, he crowded closer until our noses almost touched. "Answer me. Talk. Are you two together?" I snapped, my words turning venomous. "What's it to you whether we are or not? You're this defensive. Do you like her too?" Ethan froze. I smirked internally. Bingo. So they've been secretly pining for each other this whole time. I was about to reassure him it wasn't a big deal when he did the unthinkable. He shoved me against the wall, burying his face in the crook of my neck like he meant to bite me. Panicking, I kneed him hard in the stomach. As he doubled over, I bolted without looking back. This was beyond ridiculous. So we'd both fallen for the same girl, and I'd confessed first. Big deal. Especially since she clearly preferred him. Was this any way to treat your best friend? I gave Ethan the silent treatment for a week. Strangely, he didn't reach out. Normally, he'd come crawling with apologies within hours. When I finally caved and went to his place, it stood empty. That's how I learned he'd vanished overseas without warning, blocking my number everywhere. Sitting on his doorstep that day, the world turned gray. I never felt such gut-wrenching loss. Weren't we supposed to be brothers? Why did you leave without saying goodbye? I let Ethan rest his forehead against my shoulder now. When he stayed silent, I pushed harder. And blocking me? What gave you that, right? Anger surged as I shoved him away. You disappear for years, then waltz back like nothing happened? Why even come home? Should have stayed gone forever. My voice cracked, traitorous tears spilling. Goddamn it. Ethan returned right before college entrance exams. We'd reconnected like the missing years meant nothing, me still the class clown, him forever the responsible one. But we both avoided mentioning the fight. That easy closeness was long dead. I scrubbed at my face, only to be pulled into sudden warmth. "Jay, don't cry. This is all my fault." Ethan's arms locked around me, trembling. His jacket smelled like cedarwood and safety, drowning me in memories. My pulse quickened, not from anger this time. "Jaden," he whispered against my hair. "I'll tell you everything. The whole truth. I went abroad because I suddenly presented and entered my rut cycle. My pheromones were too strong. I couldn't control myself at all. Overseas hospitals have systematic pheromone suppression treatments. I went for therapy. I was terrified that if I didn't leave immediately, I'd end up attacking you again. That's it." I mumbled into his chest, voice muffled by his shirt. "Then why block me? Were you that afraid I'd find out?" Ethan's chuckle vibrated against my cheek, bitter yet warm. "Because if I heard your voice even once, I'd never have the strength to leave." At the school gate, Ryan's jaw dropped when he saw me voluntarily get into Ethan's car. "Holy shit. You two made up." I shrugged. "Something like that." Ryan's face scrunched up like he'd bitten into a lemon. "Jay, you heartless bastard. What about our plans to hit the clubs tonight?" Ethan's fingers tightened on the steering wheel. He glanced at me through those unfairly long lashes, saying nothing yet radiating wounded puppy energy. This asshole was definitely playing the sympathy card again. "Quit your whining." I snapped at Ryan, cheeks burning. "All you ever want to do is party. I'm going home." The corner of Ethan's mouth twitched upward as he pulled away from the curb. That night found me sprawled across Ethan's king-size bed. The familiar comfort of his Egyptian cotton sheets easing tension I hadn't realized I'd been carrying. Back when our families first forced us into this awkward cohabitation arrangement, we'd moved around each other like hostile ghosts. Now this wasn't bad. Like reclaiming our childhood dynamic where I'd shamelessly commandeer my best friend's bed. I buried my face in his pillow, inhaling deeply. The faint trace of cedarwood made my pulse spike. Not enough. Never enough. Having fun there. Puppy. I looked up to find Ethan leaning against the bathroom doorway, steam curling around his bare torso. Relaxation softened his usually sharp features. My throat went dry. Was this bastard trying to kill me? His robe hung open, revealing water droplets trailing down 8-pack abs before disappearing beneath the towel at his hips. Christ, when did he get so sculpted? Determined to regain control, I crooked a finger. Ethan, come here. He obeyed, letting me yank him down until we were nose to nose on the mattress. His arm shot out to cushion my head before impact. I didn't release my grip, licking suddenly parched lips. Hey, let me smell your pheromones. The other person remained silent for a long time. I found myself completely enveloped in Ethan's shadow, unable to read his expression. The moment stretched until a droplet from his damp hair fell onto my cheek. Bored by the standoff, I tried pushing him away. All right, don't be so stingy with your pheromones. His hand snapped around my wrist with surprising force, calloused thumb brushing over my pulse point. Do you understand what those words really mean? What's there to understand? I frowned, genuinely perplexed. Ethan's voice dropped to a dangerous rasp. Jay, that's considered propositioning me where I come from. My mind short-circuited. What? No way. I shot upright in bed, sheets pooling around me. I swear that's not what I meant. Amusement glinted in his eyes. Relax. I know. His arms slid around me as cedarwood pheromones began permeating the air. Better? Bonded omegas naturally crave their alpha's scent. The tension seeped from my muscles as warmth bloomed across my nape. Without thinking, I nuzzled into his chest, cardamom notes of my own pheromones mingling with his. Our scents twirled together, playful spice weaving through earthy wood grain. Electric tingles raced up my spine at the contact. Ethan's breathing grew ragged against my ear. I glanced up to find veins standing out on his neck. Jaw clenched tight. Experimentally, I let more pheromones flow. The cedarwood suddenly vanished as Ethan yanked the comforter over me. Need to a shower again. He practically fled the room, leaving me clutching fabric to my bare chest. He started avoiding me after that, working late, skipping dinners. Every attempt to confront him got derailed by sudden business calls. The mystery deepened until lunch with Ryan. Ryan nudged my elbow, gesturing discreetly behind me. Since when did Ethan start dating? I turned to see Ethan's familiar broad shoulders at a corner booth. Across from him sat a laughing brunette in a cashmere sweater. My water glass slipped, ice cubes skittering across the tile as cold dread pulled my stomach. Waiters descended with towels, but I barely registered the commotion. Each breath came sharper than the last, my scent glands burning with sudden intensity. The girl in question was Emily Parker, the same Emily I confessed my feelings to during sophomore year, the same Emily who had that mutual pining thing going on with Ethan Foster. That Foster bastard is nothing but a heartless jerk. I slammed my empty beer bottle on the bar counter, the neon lights throbbing in time with my pounding headache. The bass, heavy music vibrated through my bones as I spat. Friendship? Don't make me laugh. He swore up and down that studying abroad was to protect me from getting hurt. My fist connected with the sticky countertop. Bullshit. He just wanted to spare his precious Emily from his rut cycles. Ryan Thompson watched me unravel, his expression caught between pity and second-hand embarrassment. Easy there, champ. Maybe ease up on the rut cycles. I jabbed my finger at him, the room tilting slightly. So Ethan's an alpha, right? Admit it. Ryan sighed like a disappointed guidance counselor. Jaden, we alphas are biologically wired to prioritize mates. You're an alpha too. You should understand this. Alpha my ass, I thought bitterly, rolling my eyes. If only he knew this alpha was actually an omega in disguise. Wait, are you seriously this worked up over Ethan? Ryan's eyebrows shot up. Dude, people might think you're jealous or something. The words hit me like a bucket of ice water. Jealous? Of Emily? My cheeks suddenly burned as my pulse skyrocketed. Gulp down more beer. The bitter hops doing nothing to cool the fire in my veins. Don't be ridiculous. We're bros. Brothers don't. You know that. Ryan stood, shaking his head. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Mom's expecting me home before curfew. Try not to get arrested. Yeah. Left alone with my thoughts and dwindling alcohol. I settled the tab and shrugged on my leather jacket. The night air slapped some sense into me, until a meaty hand clamped onto my shoulder. Hey, pretty thing. Slurred a hulking stranger, reeking of bourbon. His bloodshot eyes raked over me. Smell that? Sweet little omega. Aren't ya? Let me have a taste. I wrenched free. Voice dropping to sub-zero. Your nose broken. Mutt? Back off before I rearrange your face. The drunk alpha lunged. My fist connected with his jaw in a textbook uppercut. Thank you. Middle school martial arts trophies. He crashed into a trash can. Phone already dialing back up. I should have bolted then. Instead, I found myself surrounded by goons in black ski masks barely a block from the bar. Pain exploded in my gut as their leader swung a steel pipe aimed straight at my abdomen. Crumpling to the pavement, I curled around the white-hot agony. Boots rained down before I could catch my breath. Through the ringing in my ears, one thought pierced clearer than the pain. Ethan Foster. You'd better be having a worse night than this. So tough. Huh? Still want to fight? The drunk alpha staggered over, yanking Jaden Wilson's hair to force his head up. His grin twisted grotesquely. Such a feisty face. Bet you'll taste even better. The acrid metallic stench of his pheromones flooded Jay's senses. His neck glands burned. Breathing turned ragged as his body erupted in feverish weakness. Suddenly he understood the alpha's intentions. This bastard wanted to force him into heat. As the alpha's teeth neared Jay's exposed throat, he jerked his knee upward. His boot connected viciously with the alpha's groin. Youch. The alpha released Jay, collapsing to writhe on the floor. Jay scrambled up, stumbling toward the bar's utility room. 3 black-clad thugs lunged as he slammed the door shut. Fists pounded against metal while Jay fumbled with trembling hands. The phone nearly slipped from his sweat-slicked grip. The line connected instantly. Jay? Ethan Foster's voice snapped the last thread of Jay's composure. Ethan. His sob cracked through the speaker. Get your fucking ass here now. Ethan arrived as the door splintered inward. Jay lay paralyzed as the reeking alpha loomed over him. Resigned. He shut his eyes. No impact came. When Jay dared look, every attacker lay prostrate, choking under suffocating cedarwood pheromones. The air itself seemed to crystallize with primal terror. Across the room, Ethan stood amidst cowering alphas, his expression murderous. Top-tier alpha dominance radiated like Arctic gales through pine forests. Ethan collapsed beside Jay, draping his coat over Jay's shaking form. The drunkard crawled forward, forehead smacking concrete. A mistake. Just a joke. Please. The cedar scent turned lethal. Ethan's palm gently covered Jay's eyes. Close them, Jay. Metal clanged. Thuds. Cracks. Shrieking police. Jay kept his promise, trembling until silence fell. Home now. Ethan rasped hours later, lifting Jay effortlessly. Outside, Foster family security teams swarmed the block. Ethan settled Jay in the limo's back seat, voice glacial as engines roared to life. Handle the aftermath. Leave no one behind. My heat came on with a violent intensity, overwhelming me before I could reach home. In the underground parking garage, Ethan had barely opened the car door when I lunged at him, arms locking around his neck. Your scent. My voice broke with desperate tears. It hurts. I need your scent right now. His cedarwood aroma enveloped me as strong arms tightened around my waist. Jay, baby, just hold on a little longer. The soothing timbre of his voice contradicted the dangerous glint in his eyes. I brought suppressants. Close your eyes, this will make it better. The sight of that syringe shattered me. Was he refusing to mark me because he'd found someone else? Rage burned through the fever as I shoved him away. Liar. You fucking liar. Hot tears splashed onto the leather seats. The overseas reconciliation, all those promises, just lies. You never cared. It's always been Emily, hasn't it? Ethan froze mid-reach, fingertips hovering near my tear-streaked face. Jaden, what the hell are you? I saw you two at Café Laurent last Thursday. Sobs racked my body, each accusation punctuated by pounding fists against his chest. If you didn't love her, why did we fight over her sophomore year? Why distance yourself now? Why won't you even fucking mark me? He endured the blows silently until I collapsed against him. Spin. Calloused fingers massaged my trembling hands. Listen carefully. Sweetheart, Emily chairs the neighboring university's student council. Our lunch meeting involved intercollegiate robotics partnerships. His thumb brushed away fresh tears. I don't love Emily. In fact, I've hated her since 10th grade. Why? The confession stunned me. Ethan's bitter chuckle vibrated against my temple. Because the person I've loved since childhood has always loved her instead. Before I could process this, his lips captured mine, a fleeting brush of cedarwood warmth that short-circuited my thoughts. Our foreheads touched as he confessed hoarsely. This isn't brotherly affection. Jay, what I feel, it's monstrous. Fingers traced the fading bite mark on my nape. When I heard about your confession to Emily back then, I nearly lost control. Imagine chaining you to my bed, reducing you to endless tears that only I could witness. His breathing turned ragged. This is why I stayed away. His obsidian eyes burned with possessive intensity. Jay, I'm in rut these days. Ethan's voice was gravel rough. I'm not avoiding you. I'm terrified I'll lose control and hurt you. The hand caressing the back of my neck tightened. If I mark you now, it won't just be a neck bite. I suddenly noticed Ethan's feverish skin temperature. His brows knitted in visible agony. Rumor said alphas suffered terribly during ruts without omega comfort. Without thinking, I released my cardamom pheromones, letting them intertwine with his pine scent. Wrapping my arms around Ethan's neck, I crushed my lips against his. The air thickened with aggressive pine notes, stealing my breath. Do you understand what you're doing, Jay? Ethan gripped my jaw, gaze wild and unhinged. Once you choose me, there's no escape. Ever. My face burned as my heartbeat thundered. I'm not scared. Ethan, I love you. Don't you dare think about backing out. I was swallowed by arms smelling of alpine forests, his kiss turning feral. Morning light filtered through the curtains as feather-light kisses roused me. Ethan's sleep-roughened voice murmured, Sorry, sweetheart. His fingers carding through my hair. Memories of last night flooded back, how he'd stopped before crossing the final line despite his rut, though not before reducing me to hoarse sobs. Your bites hurt. I complained, touching the tender mating gland. Ethan's thumb brushed the fresh mark. Forgive me, Jay. I'll be gentler next time. Campus forums exploded when we went public. Holy shit. Student Council President Foster is dating the Wilsonaire. How's anyone supposed to compete? Jay's the hottest omega alive, loudly crankfus. Back off. Remember when Prez Foster scent-bombed the cafeteria just because someone stared at Jay too long? Faced with tears of joy, I scrolled through comments nestled against Ethan's chest. Our mothers nearby arguing over wedding floral arrangements. Mom, we're still in college. I protested. Nonsense. Mrs. Wilson waved her iPad displaying bridal catalogs. After learning you presented as Omega, I nearly had heart attacks imagining some alpha brute claiming you. Thank God it's Ethan. Mrs. Foster tearfully squeezed my hand. You've saved us all. Jay. Ethan's loved you since middle school. We feared he'd burn down the estate if you chose someone else. Ryan dramatically collapsed on our couch during his visit. My bro's been stolen by this pine-scented dictator. Emily arrived with her alpha girlfriend, smirking at Ryan's antics. Told you they'd end up together. The room filled with laughter as sunlight streamed through the windows. Ethan's arm warm around my waist. His pine scent wrapped around me like a promise fierce, eternal, and unmistakably mine. They gave Ethan Foster and me a pair of matching couple necklaces symbolizing eternal unity. Ethan and I exchanged knowing smiles. Our fingers intertwined as we shared a tender kiss. This lifelong journey together was only just beginning, marked by my arrival after becoming an Omega. Then,